Hello, my name is Joy, and I think I've lived a pretty interesting life so far. I come from humble beginnings. As a child, one of my favorite pastimes was fighting 6-foot tall cockroaches over government cheese in an impoverished trailer in small town Texas. I like to say that I grew up trailer classy, not trailer trashy. Despite the odds, I prevailed. Even though people called me nicknames like nerd or coconut, I did well in school, and I knew I wanted to go to college. I really loved to cook, and I wanted to be the next Jamie Oliver, so I thought about going into culinary school. I was also very into journalism, especially broadcast journalism. I was actually the executive producer of our school's news show called the Matcast. You might remember me from such episodes as Making the Band or the Matcast Christmas Spectacular 2004. I wanted to be the next Barbara Walters or Anderson Cooper. So naturally, when I had the opportunity to apply to college, I decided to study English. I wanted to become a famous fiction writer. I invented my first story when I was in the first grade. It was called The First Grader Who Failed. I did not fail the first grade. And it was a smash hit amongst my fans, included my cousin Samantha. In the third grade, I wrote my first chapter book. It was very sweet. And since I was 13 years old, I've been keeping a journal. Now, most of the journal consists of information about school dances and boys and how actually boys are far superior than NSYNC. But nonetheless, I knew that I wanted to be a famous writer. But that dream didn't last long, because in the middle of my undergraduate career, I became passionately interested in health disparities. I wanted to know why some people went to the doctor while others didn't. Was it all about money, or were there cultural reasons at play? Of course, I specialize in Mexican American culture, since I'm a Mexican American. And I even lived in Mexico, so I could really learn the cultural values to see how it affects health. Unfortunately, a lot of the health problems that we face as Mexican Americans comes directly from our consumption of hot Cheetos. My experiences in undergrad were setting me up for a great career as a health advocate for Mexican Americans. So naturally, when I had the opportunity to go to graduate school, I decided to study immunology and molecular microbiology. I went all the way to Johns Hopkins, and I spent an exorbitant amount of time sticking temperature probes into the unsuspecting anuses of frightened mice. But I also continued work in community health. My master's thesis was on the very controversial subject of genetics, race, and health disparities. My dissertation contained lots of photos of Michael Jackson. After my master's, I spent a few years working for a nonprofit organization to help people learn about health insurance and the Affordable Care Act. And then I went to medical school. I did a lot in medical school. It was a great time. I opened up a clinic for the underserved. That was great. I did lots of research. I went to national conferences and gave speeches. And I even advanced my art career, going to some art shows and selling art online. I love to paint. I've been painting since 2005. And during medical school, I really flourished. In medical school, I also developed a strong interest in surgery. I even published a few blog articles for the Association of Women Surgeons. And so naturally, when the opportunity presented itself, I did the one thing that I knew I had to do. I joined the military. And now, I'm a first-year family medicine resident. I still paint, I still cook, I still write, and I still advocate for minorities. In fact, I created this video to hopefully inspire some of you, especially some of you who are minorities, to challenge the environment that you grew up in. Based on where I was born, how poor my family was, the 6-foot roaches and whatnot, I was not supposed to be a doctor. And the journey to becoming a physician was long and arduous. And I was always searching for a role model, someone who looked like me, who had gone through the challenges I did, who came from the same background I did. And it was hard to find that person. So if you want to see somebody who looks like me, who grew up the way I did, who grew up poor, who grew up trailer classy, and then who overcame all the odds to become a successful professional, I'm here for you. Once I was asked in an interview who my role model was. And I didn't want to say my mom, because I always say my mom. She didn't graduate from high school, but she ended up getting her GED and then going to night school and getting a bachelor's and becoming a teacher, which is awesome. She's incredible, but I want it to be more creative. So when I was asked who my role model was, I said in the interview that my role model was Speedy Gonzalez. And I didn't get the job. I was just upset at the fact that as a child, my choices for role models were either Telemundo soap opera stars or Speedy Gonzalez. This is the only options I had. But anyway, I ultimately had to become my own mentor. I've always felt like one of the best things a successful minority can do to serve other minorities and help them is to simply be present. The fact that you exist is already enough. I'm hoping to make more videos, but I need your help. Tell me what you want to know, what you want to learn, what you want to see. If you need tips, if you need advice, if you just want to hear more about my journey, let me know. Write a comment. Never thought I would say that. Send me a message, write me a comment. I'd be glad to shoot more videos to help out. I want to be present for you. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your ideas.